better? That I'm in here? Yes, better.
You want what? Hey guys, this is Rafa.
This is Noah.
And welcome back to another episode of the Honeybee Chronicles podcast. This is a podcast, in case you're new, about knitting, dyeing yarn maybe, anything crafty with fiber we like. We're in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's hot as hell, but we love working with wool. Probably crazy, but whatever. So, last week I had a few comments saying that a certain someone didn't talk enough.
No,
and called it the Penn and Teller Show. So hopefully this time you could talk a little more.
You loved that, didn't you? It was a coworker, right?
It was a coworker. Hey, Franz. Everyone's been watching my podcast, which I appreciate. Thank you guys, but I just thought it was funny. If you guys notice, there's a certain something new about a certain one of us.
I cut it all off.
By himself. Fancy. You'll hear Libby. Libs.
She doesn't care.
No, she really doesn't. So, sorry, guys. Actually, the whole crew is in here. Belle is in here, which I still need to show you guys. Maybe later in this episode. Annie was here. She's right outside the door. But, also, we tried a new setup. Just literally a different angle, just to see if it was better. I like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the bookcase more than a white door.
And you can see my dear friends from... Oh, crap. Joy!
Inside Out.
Stay up. Don't show you're drunk. Yep, from Inside Out. So, I guess we'll jump right into it. I have one finished object. Noah has not worked on his
Haven't touched it.
No. He's going through some things, Lord knows.
It crossed my mind to do it today, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
So, I finished one. This wasn't a work in progress last week. This literally... I've been waiting for this pattern to come out for so long. Literally, it's been months. And when I saw the test knit and I didn't catch it in time to do it, which is so annoying. It's by my favorite designer. Everyone knows who that is at this point, hopefully. Andrea Mowry. But it is the Drift hat, which I love this hat. So it has this really cool cabled chevron to it. It's just twisted stitches, really. And the rest of it's in garter, which is annoying as hell knitting in the round because purl stitches are no one's best friend. The top is a 4-point decrease, which I've never done before. I love this hat. I think it's so pretty. It's knit in Hedgehog Fibers banana legs, which I never knew if I would use for anything, but Noah said use that one, so I did. But it's too small. I don't know what it is. It's fine width-wise. It's just short. So it's not like I could... I mean, technically, I could add a few rows of garter before doing the decrease if I redo the hat. This will probably end up being a gift knit now. But it makes me so sad because I wanted a yellow hat. But if you look, like, it fits. I always wear mine a little bit back. But there's no slouch. And I'm not the biggest fan of slouch, like, a lot. But a little bit would be nice, you know?
Yeah.
But I did it in...
Let me try.
Okay, you can try it on. I did it in less than 24 hours. I literally busted through this hat. Oh.
What?
You.
What about me?
Just you. I did the hat super duper quick, which was cool. I love the pattern. I think it is so pretty. It's so fun. It was my first time successfully doing 1x1 rib, which I'm always like annoyed with the idea of because it just feels like it would take forever. But for this pattern, it needs it.
I just think you have a bigger head.
Let me see. Put it on. It still didn't give you slouch.
No, not really.
That's the part, because it fits me fine around the head. It's just like right here. This in the picture too, she has like a lot of slouch. And I use the same weight of yarn. My gauge was pretty on point. I never test gauge, but with her, my gauge has never been an issue because I've swatched a few of the gauge measurements that she's done and they've always been fine. So I don't know, but I think it'll be a gift for my cousin. I think she'll love it. Yeah. Don't you think? Probably. So yeah. And if it doesn't fit the one, it'll fit the younger one. So perfect. So that's my only finished object. I worked worked on the socks a little bit. I didn't bring them. I hate them. I don't hate the pattern. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful pattern, and I love everything that the Wilco does. She's inching up there with Andrea Mowry. But it's just left twists on sock weight yarn is such a pain in the ass for me. It takes forever. I've read through like 5 different tutorials online. I've watched videos. I've done everything I can possibly think to do. Come here, Annie. Look at yours, Annie. You guys remember her from a couple episodes back, hopefully. She wanted to join us. So anyway, I've just practiced and tried different things, and I've gotten through parts of it, but it's at the point where I go so slow that I just can't. I don't have the patience for it. I was doing a test knit for it, and I wrote her, even though I know I talked some shit last week about people like falling through on test knits. That's probably why I couldn't do it. It was probably karma biting me in the butt. But I couldn't. There was no way I was going to get it done in time, and it was stressing me out, and knitting's not supposed to stress you out. Not like that. So I backed off on that, which kind of sucks. But I guess I'll go into my one work in progress, which I just started either last night or the night before.
I think it was last night.
Was it?
I think so.
I can't remember. No, I think it was the night before, actually. But it is... it's all twisted around itself. It's the Timberline sweater, the one that you've seen the sleeve of before. I decided to work on the body, like I had said before. Can you hold it up for me?
Sure.
Because I don't want to move her too much. So this is Madeline Tosh Pure Merino, I believe is the yarn, in Boxcar. Put your hand like behind it.
That's what I was trying to do. But...
There you go. There you go. There we go. So it's a tubular cast on. I'm just working on the 2x2 ribbing, which I hate ribbing. I think everyone, like, you love how it looks, you love the purpose that it serves, but it's just annoying and it just takes forever. So it's boring, I think is what it is. So yeah, so this is literally just the body. I'm doing a really big size because I really want it to be super slouchy and huge on me and just comfy. Because I think cabling just already makes it'll make it a little bit tighter in my experience. So yeah, and it's living in my Harry Potter, a simpler home, right? Yeah, a simpler home. Caleb from Close to Amish on Instagram and his boyfriend Justin, their company. I love this bag. I talked about it, I think last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
In acquisitions. So
especially the inside of it.
Yes. So that's what it's living in for now, and it's cool. So I think from here we will move on to our other project of the last few days. We've started dyeing yarn. Yay!
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's what I'll do.
It's been so fun, guys. Like, we watched a few of Nicole from Hugh Loco's tutorials. We watched all 3 of them, and you can hear Belle trying to get outside. Sorry. She has her friend that she wants to go talk to, but then she just barks and barks and barks and barks.
In the corner.
In the corner, and does not... Oh, it's just annoying. So, no, she can stay inside. But, so we watched a few tutorials. I ordered some supplies online, and we started. So I will show you the very first piece of yarn that I dyed, and I put it into the first square of a cozy memory blanket that Noah and I are planning on working on concurrently. It is this. Look at this. Yes. Yes.
Oh, really, Annie?
It's Annie's turn. Annie wants to go with Dad. There.
Okay. Well, then you
There. can
can
Perfect.
bring it up there so they can see the detail.
Spoiled brat. So it's it was supposed to be a lot lighter, but I oversaturated it and it feels it. It's real like scratchy. And I thought, oh my god, the yarn sucks. But then I realized once I've dyed more, I'm like, no, I suck. So it's fine. It has these like speckles because we tied our knots too tight. Oh, it's fun though. So we did that. And then we kept going. We spent all of Sunday doing this.
Okay, we're good. Actually worked.
Hi.
Because now I'm more in it.
Hi. So I'll go over. I'll try to do them as well. I guess no one can show his, or I'll show it for you, since you're holding the baby.
Yeah.
This is the one he did. It was supposed to be gray.
Yeah.
But again,
Oversaturated it. Well, because, like, if we would have done, like, a whole skein, I'm sure it wouldn't have been that.
No, it would have been
dark.
perfect.
But it's like a super dark
Navy
maybe a purple.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
I'm dropping skeins everywhere. They're falling on me. Okay, so there's that. Very pretty, though. And then, next, Noah got kind of bored for a little while, which was fine with me, because then I got to play by myself. I did this. So, ignore the blue, because the blue is just some cheap worsted weight acrylic yarn that we had, just to kind of hold it, since we did our little, like, mini skeins. But I did this, which probably will not pick up at all. I'm trying to cover you, too. There we go. So, it's a super variegated color with some random speckling. Oh, it's so pretty. Like right here, I don't know if you can see, but there's like some green mixed in, some black. It's really cool. This will be another square. I think each of the pieces that we dye will end up in a blanket form, just because. Then I did this, which I wish I would have done more, but I only did 5 grams of, and I think it's so pretty. But it's this.
When you unravel completely.
Yeah, because then you can actually see the color. So you can see the speckles in it. So just blue. Very, very pretty. And then I had another one. Oh, I guess not. I guess those were the first ones that I did. And then I did this one. This was the last one. Again, ignore the baby blue color. But this is like 75 grams, I believe. Again, we're really into speckles, which will bring me to a question that I'll answer later, but so yeah, I'm excited to use that, and we'll talk about that in a little while. And then last night, we got the stroke of inspiration, and we decided to dye some yarn. So I wanted to do 2 skeins at once, and these are full 100-gram skeins. The reason I wanted to do it was to see how to do a repeatable colorway, I guess. So in case I'm going to make like a bigger project or, you know, whatever, I have more of the yarn that I need. So this was my first attempt at that. So it has like a blush beige base that's very, very light. Then it has some turquoise, aqua, and it had some yellow, which you can see right there, kind of. But then the yellow mixed with the blue and it made this really pretty green color. And there's a lot of blank yarn, which I like. It's, you know, it's just the tan color. So there's one of them, and then this is the other one. This one also has, and it has, the other one has it too, I think it's just hidden. You can see this. This is that same purple as the one Noah did, as this.
But actually, you know, done more correctly.
Yeah. And so you can see it's like speckled in. Oh, I can't wait to use this. I have some plans, possibly. So, I did that, and then I'll show Noah's, but Noah can talk about his.
Okay. It's green, so it's pretty. I did some speckles. What I started out with was the gray, and you can see very little bits of it in there, where it actually turned out like gray rather than purple. And then I put speckles of black, what was it, sour apple and radioactive.
Yeah, so like a bright green and a
like more just green.
Yeah. So he did 100-gram skein of it. It's very pretty.
I love it. I think it's pretty.
I think it is too. So that's been our new adventure, and we're having a lot of fun with it, I would say. Who knows what we'll do in the future with it. I have other, like, color palettes in my head, and I think, like, the makeup artistry that I have in my past is, like, really, really, like, coming out, because I loved color, and I'm really good at, like, figuring out colors that go together, I think. So it's been cool to play with that a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it, seeing what combos we can make up.
And it's interesting to see it, like, when it's in the pot, and then you add the colors, like, if you're doing variegated or the speckled, and it just kind of, like, expands and does what it wants, and then you see it once you, like, get to rinse it out, and you're like, oh my god. So, it's been cool. So, I guess with that, we'll jump to the question that we were asked this week. So, I forgot to mention at the beginning because I'm an awful podcaster. We have a Ravelry group. Well, I have a Ravelry group. A certain someone isn't on Ravelry. But it's the Honeybee Chronicles. I need graphics. I don't know how to do them. I'm going to try to figure it out. I asked one of my old high school friends who does graphic design to help me with logos, and she hasn't gotten back to me recently, so we'll see. I may just figure out how to do it myself, or if someone wants to help me with it, that would be amazing. I need the 2 for the Ravelry logo so that it can pop up on your little, like, my groups on the side. But I had one new member come in, and her name is Michelle. So, hey, Michelle. Hey. Hi. So she asked a question. So she said, I'd love to know more about your preferred colors, if you like solids, speckles, variegated, and how, or if you like to combine colors. Do you use all weights of yarn, or do you have one you gravitate towards? And if he's willing, I'd love for Noah to answer the color questions as well. Also, thank you for linking the Magic Loop video. I need to watch it. I got ugly laddering in that sock that I was doing. I think that's part of the reason why I hate it so much too. So I'll watch it in the very, very near future. So thank you so much for that. So I guess I'll answer my yarn questions first, and then Noah can jump in with his. So I'm going to work, I think, a little bit backwards. Weights of yarn. I buy a lot of fingering weight yarn. I think everyone does. I think, like, across the board, that's the weight everyone buys. I also like DK. I hardly ever use fingering weight. It's awful. I buy all this beautiful yarn, and then I don't use it. But right now, I've been really, really into sweaters. And the sweater that I've made, which is the one I'm wearing, which unfortunately this pattern was, I don't know if it was scrapped or put on hold for a long time, but I'm still wearing it because it's very comfy. It's because it doesn't close, and none of the test knitters found it closing. And I thought it's just because I'm fat that it didn't want to close right, but apparently no one's did, but whatever. But this is in worsted weight. It's a very light worsted weight because it's the Cascade 220. The Timberline is in a worsted weight as well. So I knit a lot in worsted weight. The hats I like are usually in DK. But I don't know. I don't like bulky yarn. I don't like chunky. Anything beyond worsted or Aran, I think is too much for me. It's too thick. I like it to be thinner because I like the fabric that's produced. I'm really excited to do the Longmore cardigan. I think it's the Longmore cardigan. It's by Michelle Wang, who I'm obsessed with. If you haven't followed her on Snapchat, please watch her. She's hilarious and so interesting. It's so cool to see, like, the day-to-day life of a knitwear designer, because it's something that would be really awesome to do as a career, or just work in fiber. I think would be really cool. And so seeing her story and what she does every day is just amazing. And her YouTube channel is awesome. I'm sure you've seen it by now. If you haven't, I want to say it's Mishi2X. I'll link it though for sure. Anyway, so her cardigan is in fingering weight, and the yarn that I showed last week, the Cat's Kettle yarn, that's what I'm going to use for it. So if I like that, if it doesn't take a million years to knit up the fabric, then I may possibly, be able to transition into more of those. However, for men, and I don't know if it's the same for women because I really haven't looked into it, a lot of the sweater patterns that have cables, which I love cables, they're in thicker weight yarn. So yeah, and I've been considering, like, looking into how to, like, transfer to a different weight of yarn, not so much going into into fingering weight from worsted, because that's huge, but into DK, because I know there's a lot more DK yarns that I like, and I like the fabric of DK yarn. I do. I think it's very nice. So we'll start with that. And then combining colors, yes, I do love to combine colors. My thing about knitting, and I've talked to Noah about this, is if I'm going to knit something, I want to knit something I could not buy in a store. I want to knit a pattern that I couldn't buy in a store with a design that I couldn't buy in a store. Like, honestly, this design, which I'm going to show you, I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I don't care because it's not coming out anyway. But you can see it has this, like, slip stitch cable to it. That you would never find on a men's sweater in a store. You wouldn't. You'll either find very basic, like stockinette, or you'll find ribbed. You just don't find the interesting knits in store, which is why I spend the time knitting it, because if I'm going to wear it, like, I want it to be cool. So it's interesting saying that because, you know, I bought the yarn for the Timberline and it's boxcar. I told Noah that if I could, I would knit a sweater out of a highlighter yellow. And I can, I just haven't yet. So I think that's why, like, the Cat's Kettle, it has the, like, orangey and the blue, and they're contrasting colors, and they're different, and it's cool, and it's fun. So I think that's where my idea of combining colors is. And after this question, I am going to talk about a couple projects that I'm planning on doing, and we'll talk a little bit more about the colors that I combine. But I love a lot of things in yarn. I love tonal yarn, like, I love, like, this. This is Nebula by Madeline Tosh. It's just so pretty to me. It's just so, like, electric. It's dark, but it has this, like, very, like, captivating quality about it, you know? So I love that. I love speckles, which we all know I love speckles, and that's what we've been dying, because we both love speckles. I like variegated, too. Don't get me wrong. I do. But I get sad if it doesn't have speckles. There's just something about speckles. But really, like, the yarns that you'll never see me use a red. I'm not going to say never, because never say never. But you'll probably not see me use a red, because I don't like the color red in general. I'm not a fan of it. You won't see me use purple mostly. My Nana, which is Spanish for grandma, she hated the color purple, like, abhorred the color purple, and so she transferred that onto me, so I'm really not a big fan of purple. But other than that, pretty much any colors game. I love salmons, I love purple, I love salmons, I love turquoise, I love aqua, I love blue, I love grays, I love neutrals, I love tan, I love brown, I love orange, yellow, I love yellow. I think yellow may be slowly competing with turquoise as my favorite color. Because it's so happy, it's so bright, and I had enough years in my life of dark and sad that I want something happy and bright in it. As cheesy as that sounds. But, yeah, so I think for me, I love all the yarns, and I appreciate them for different reasons. Speckled will always have my attention, and anything with Stellina in it will be bae. So, your turn.
Alright, color-wise, for things that I normally lean toward, obviously green, because everything I have is green. Like, it's my favorite color. Hands down, favorite color. I mean, I'm pretty open to other colors, too, but green is my favorite. Like, just is. What else? Weight. That I haven't knitted enough. I really haven't to come up with a good answer for that. Because I love, like, scarves. I love how sweaters and socks and stuff like that look, but I never want to knit them because I would never use them here. It's just too hot.
He's a new knitter. He doesn't get it yet.
Anyway, but blankets, totally down for that, which I know, warm, but still. Anyway, so I like those. Yes, speckles are my favorite too. Was that all of it? Okay. If I missed anything, let us know. 'Cause I think I got it. I think I answered them all.
So, yeah, thank you so much for your question. It's so crazy to me that anyone's asking us questions, because it's just interesting, but I do really, really appreciate it. That being said, I want to talk about a couple of projects / knit-alongs that I want to participate in. Maybe this one will participate with me. That would be kind of fun. So the first one is the Exploration Station Cal by, it's being co-hosted by Laura of the Dyer's Notebook, which was actually, fun fact, the first podcast that I ever watched, and was like the gateway for me, like, getting into, like, podcasts and really YouTube other than, like, tutorials for knitting. And so her and Miss Kristen from Woolenvine, Yarngasm podcast. They're co-hosting a Cal for the Exploration Station by Stephen West. I literally found out about it. I found out about it like 3 or 4 days ago, I think. But I decided today that I did want to participate, so I bought the pattern. And I'm trying to decide between a couple of color palettes. That's why I was saying we'd get into it more later. I'm thinking of... Okay, so actually, let me talk about the other one, too. So I'm going to do the 3 Pips Mystery Knit-Along being hosted by the Periscoping Sisters. Or the Periscope Sisters, whatever. You guys are really cool. I've been watching you recently. I'm not like a long-term watcher or anything, but you guys are fun to watch. So I'm trying to decide yarn for both of them. They're both fingering weight, which thank God, because I have too much of it and I need to destash a little bit. But I'm thinking of doing for one of them, and I haven't decided which one. The hard thing about a mystery knit-along, and tell me if you guys don't agree, you don't know what the end product is going to be. And so, no shade to anyone or anything, but what if you don't like it? Because someone, there may be a pattern that I absolutely hate, right? And I don't like how it comes out, whatever. Or I don't like how it wears on me, etc. So I'm going to have used like yarn that I'm like saving and hoarding for something I don't use. So it's like the scary part. And the same thing with the Exploration Station. It's not a mystery. It's out. Everyone can see it. But what if I don't like how it drapes on me? Or what if I can't figure out how to style it right, Yeah. So it's hard, but I want to do it because it's interesting. And I really, really want Noah to do the Exploration Station one with me because I think that'll be a super good intro to a lot of more advanced stitches and a lot of more intermediate advanced techniques that I think he'll do really well at. But that's digressing. So one of the color palettes that I'm thinking is this, which is very not me. It's not bright, but that's kind of why I want to do it. So from this side to this side, this is Badlands by Madeline Tosh. It's in the Twist Light, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, so it's a sock yarn. My favorite yarn that we've talked about before, I think in my first episode or my second, Fairy Pools from Lolo Did It. I love this yarn. I just think it's so pretty. Again, very not me because it has a lot more green than I usually would go for. I like the color green, but it's not something I usually gravitate towards. And the third color is, what is this? Is this Fern? Or, yeah, this is Fern. It's also, this is Tosh Merino Light, I believe. So it's like a variegated gray. I figured for this, it would be nice to have one speckly, fun, kind of crazy color, and it has Stellina in it, which you can kind of see, and then 2 more variegated neutral colors. So I think that'd be kind of cool. Or I'm thinking of doing something with that nebula color that I showed earlier, and maybe this Undergrowth. It's another Twist Light. And this is just Tosh Merino Light, and this is Twist Light, which I think is very pretty. So maybe these two with either keep it very, very simple and do something like this, which I probably won't do because it's simple. And this is the other one, which is Rainwater, which is actually in my Marley shawl by Andrea Mowry that I've been working on-ish. Or putting mine in.
I like the idea of putting yours in.
I do too. And so I'm trying to figure out either doing like these 3 or switching out this or switching out this. This one?
Actually, what about with Fern instead of the other?
Well, because I wanted to use Fern for this set. The one with this. The reason is that Fern has brown in it, and the Rainwater has blue. So I guess I could do the blue with this too. So like this or with this color.
Either one. I was thinking the darker one because it's 2 like lighter colors.
So this one for Exploration Station or for the Mystery Knit Along?
Exploration Station.
So it has been said, so it shall be done. Maybe I'll start it tonight. That'd be kind of fun.
I didn't expect it. Because you never listen to me. You always go with the exact opposite.
But we'll see. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'm really trying to get Noah involved in doing at least one of the two. Mystery knit along would be fun, just because neither of us know what it looks like, and I think that'd be a really cool experience for Noah. I've done a mystery knit along like in a previous life, but I didn't do it as it was going. I did it like a year later, and I didn't finish because I didn't used to finish projects back then ever. But it was kind of cool. The other thought was using this yarn, which was that 75-gram skein that I made. Just because.
Really, Libs.
Libs.
Make up your mind.
Hey. Stop. She's like, oh, let me just lay on your thing of yarn.
Mm-hmm. That'll work too.
So, yeah. So there's that.
She's still interested in the whites.
Yeah, of course. So that's my plan for Exploration Station / the 3 Tips Mystery Knit Along. And Noah was talking to me about a pattern that he wants to do.
Oh, it's in that book. You want to grab it?
Do you want to say the name of the book?
This book. I can't read backwards.
Woolens.
Woolens. And it was... I should just go to the glossary and try and find it.
I'll help you.
Oh, you already know what page it is?
It's like right at the beginning.
Oh, sweet. Yes. And I think we mentioned it before. But
We did last week, I think.
yes, I want to do this. Because it's pretty.
Small or big size?
Screw it, we'll go with the big one.
He's saying that now. Just wait.
Well, the thing is, I don't mind setting it down and not touching it for a week, if I need be, because that's how I've been with my current project.
Libs!
She doesn't even hear you.
Hey. Yeah, go. Go. She is a spoiled brat in the worst way.
Your mama calls her Pinsy, or Princess.
She is a princess. Oh, I had one other acquisition. I'm counting these that we dyed as acquisitions because they're in my stash now. This is in Noah's stash. But they're in our stashes now, so they're acquisitions. This, my lovely friend Lisa, which I think is watching. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you...
He loves you too. She gave me my birthday present early. My birthday isn't for like 7 weeks.
You already have it down to 7 weeks.
It's because my mom's birthday is on Wednesday. Or Tuesday. It's on Tuesday, next Tuesday. And my mom and I are exactly 6 weeks apart. We're exactly 6 weeks apart. So when I know her birthday's coming up, I can figure out when mine is. Hell, the other day I didn't even know how old I was. I couldn't remember. And I still keep forgetting how old I am.
I remember once I can't remember exactly what happened, but I mentioned how old you were, and you're like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. And you're like, oh. You still didn't really believe me, but you went with it.
Nah, I still don't know how old I am. I feel like 75 years old. I feel 2 years old. I feel 14 years old. I feel 22 years old. Who knows? I'm everywhere in between. But she gave me my birthday present early because it's a portable charger, which I don't have on me. But she gave it to me in this. Yes. When in doubt, just add glitter. That is my motto in my life. When I die, it'll just be a rainbow of glitter. Just of glitter. There was a prank thing that you could buy a while back where it was literally like you opened a card and it made glitter go everywhere.
Sure, you could still.
I want it. It's not even a prank to me. I would never hate someone who gave that to me. I would be happy. So it's a lunch bag, but it's like the perfect size for a project.
Well, I know why you wouldn't hate it. I'd have to clean it.
But I love this bag. It's so fun. So thank you, Lisa. I don't know if you thought of it as a project bag, but the moment I saw it, I was like, oh my god, perfect project bag.
It really is. It's about the same size as the Harry Potter one.
Is it?
Maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, they're about the same. I think the Harry Potter one's just a tiny bit bigger.
You think?
Yeah. No? I don't know.
Yeah, they're real close.
Whatever. But hopefully Lisa can teach me how to sew one of these days so I can make my project bags. So, I think that's it, actually. This will hopefully go up tonight because we're a little bit behind schedule with filming and everything. The dyeing of yarn really, like, took it over. And honestly, it's kind of hard when you... Because I filmed last week later than I had the weeks before. Usually I filmed on Sundays. It's hard because then it's almost the end of the week, so I won't have any new works in progress. I probably won't have any progress made on anything. So I'm like, do I just wait? So I'm like in this like nasty cycle. But I think that if I time it right, I won't have... Okay, so there'll be not next week, not the week after, but the week after that, I don't think I'm going to have an episode up, because that'll be the day I get to Kauai, and actually it's the day after, and that's the day we're going inner tubing, so yeah, no, I won't have a video up, because it'll be busy and fun and crazy. So I think then I can film on Sunday when I get back, and I can get back into the swing of things, of having like my consistent schedule, which is funny because I'm such a new channel, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But my mom was saying that she wanted to do a podcast with me in Hawaii. So we may do that. It may be like a special episode, maybe like a haul or something, but
Or
that's...
like a vlog style where it's like this.
Well, that's happening too. I'm vlogging my trip. I've already decided. But maybe instead of my lovely co-host here, who I think is becoming a regular on the show, would you say?
Maybe.
I think maybe my mom and I will do like an episode together. But I actually did have one other thing that I just realized. Because it's the beginning of a new month, it's September 1st, the day I'm filming this, I wanted to do not a full August favorites, although I could if you really wanted me to, because I do have some makeup favorites. I do have some other random favorites. But I did really want to talk about one thing that I have fallen in love with over the last month, 6 weeks, I think I got them. And it is some facial oils. So, my best friend Victoria, who I've talked about before on this channel, she sent me the link to a YouTube video that if I can find, I'll link it. But it's of this woman who talks about what, there's Libs. Hi, Libs. What facial oils, what cleansers to use for your skin, etc., etc. And the way she talked about them made this, because I love skincare, I find it really interesting, and I learned a lot about it when I worked at Mac. I loved how she talked about everything. And so I ended up buying 3 oils that she recommended. Ooh, one of them is open, I think, a little bit, because my hand has some oil on it. So I bought white chia. Thank you. Don't push it closer. White chia oil. I bought this one, which is Japanese sea buckthorn or horn oil. Buckthorn seed oil. And then this one, which is organic Japanese camellia seed oil. Which I found out is actually a very on-trend oil right now because 3 of the face masks that I bought recently have this oil in it. So what I've been doing is, I have a little bit on my hands, I've been just pushing it into my skin after I take a shower and after I use a toner. And then I let it dry and then I use a moisturizer. And guys, I have really dry skin and living in the desert just makes it worse. It has been heaven on my skin. It doesn't smell, it doesn't feel sticky, it doesn't feel greasy, it just soaks in. Oh, and it feels so nice. And I found out that the Japanese sea buckthorn oil is huge for anti-aging, which yes. Approaching 30, yes. It's preventative, not restorative. Don't forget that's what skincare is. The camellia seed oil is super good for dry skin, and the chia seed oil is very good for, it's good for dry skin, but it's also good for your hands. So after I'm done, I just kind of rub it in, and for your hair. And I've actually been using it kind of as my texturizing agent in my hair. I really am not styling my hair much, but I'll just put a little bit in and just kind of go, and I love it. So that is definitely recommended. I bought them on Amazon. I spent $30 or $40 on all 3, so it's not a bad price. You use 2 to 3 drops total on your face, and it's just everything. Victoria's been using, I can't remember what oil she's been using, but she told me she's been putting jojoba seed oil in her body lotion, and that it's amazing. And the oil that she uses on her skin, she typically has very oily skin. It's helped to balance it, and she just has like a glow to her skin. So definitely recommend. Has nothing to do with knitting, so I apologize if you guys weren't interested in that, but it was definitely a good purchase, and it's been fun to use. Other than that, oh, you're gonna get to see my baby. Oh, my baby. This is Belle. Hi, Bob. Look, 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 look. That's Belle. She's a super good girl, huh? You a good girl. She loves being held. She thinks she's as big as Annie. And she's just a good girl. She's a pain in the butt. But she's a good girl.
Well,
Come
she
here.
was real upset because Annie was getting held, but she wasn't.
So tell them about how we met Belle.
At PetSmart?
Yeah, tell them.
What do you mean?
Like when we saw her.
Oh, it was one of those things you see or you instantly know. She was perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Adorable. Just her face.
She was sitting in this. She was sitting in this little like pen at PetSmart, which is, in case you guys aren't from the U.S., it's like a pet supply store, obviously. And they were doing an adoption day, and we just wanted to go see. Like, we've been talking about wanting a dog because we have the 2 cats, and we walked in, and I literally like walked, and there was like a bunch of little Chihuahua puppies, which I loved because I love little dogs. Obviously, I have this one now too. But then I went like around the corner, and she was just sitting there, and I have a picture that I'll try to remember to insert, and she's just looking back, and I just immediately like zoned in. And there was another dog, so funny, there's another dog in there that was like begging for attention, like bouncing up and down, and you know, like trying to, and she just sat there and just stared. And I knew at that very moment that she needed to go home with me. And I started crying because I needed her. And they said she was about 2.5. I don't know if that's true. She seems younger. She seems like she's like 2.5 now, I would say. They said she was a mama, which I believe. And she's very motherly to Miss Annie. And she's just a good girl. She's a very good girl. And she loves to bark at her friend, and she loves to go outside and all that, but she's a good girl. And anyone who's met her can attest to how great she is.
Yeah.
Right? Right, you?
She's a good girl.
Ah, no kisses, no kisses.
You know when you scream, she's like more.
Huh. Yeah, good girl. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we really have to talk about, is there?
No, I think we covered it all.
It's a short episode this week.
We're already over 30 minutes, though, aren't we?
Sure, but it's less than an hour. But good. Hopefully more people watch because it's less to watch.
Yeah, or they're like, I don't want to sit here for an hour. I don't want to watch a movie.
We're a fun movie to watch, though.
Okay.
So, I guess with that, we will let you guys go. We're going to try to get this uploaded and knit some. Maybe I'll cast on Exploration Station. That'd be fun. Yeah. So, take care, everyone. Keep knitting. Hopefully this one starts knitting and has a work in progress to show you guys next week.
Yeah, I'll have like 3 rows done.
Bye, everyone.